Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a reading for the week ahead from Monday, the 22nd of April, looking at the energies for all the signs. So a general energy, collective energy reading for the week ahead. Now, full disclosure, I did actually start doing it for each sign, but technical issues were happening, but Mercury retrograde, I'm guessing, where I got halfway through and they didn't work. And I was like, do you know what? I don't think I could start it again because it would feel like inauthentic somehow. But I didn't want to not do anything. So I thought I'll do a collective reading and hopefully next week I'll be able to do the full signs again. And there'll be the month ahead as well for May. So before I get into the tarot reading, a couple of things I just want to mention. So we do have a full moon in Scorpio on Tuesday, and we've also got Mercury going direct, hooray, on Thursday. So two pretty major events happening this week. And I'm actually going to do a video on the full moon in Scorpio, like talking about what the full moon in Scorpio is about, doing a reading for that as well. So I won't talk about it too much here, but I might mention it because obviously it is relevant to the week ahead energies. But watch out for that video when that comes out. And again, like talking about Mercury going direct is also going to be felt by everybody. And I imagine that's going to come up in this reading as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some cards first to get general themes and energies coming up for the week ahead for everybody. So collective energies, please. Really hope the tech works this time. Oh man. Yeah, you've got to expect these things to some degree, don't you? Okay, take that one. Oh. All right, I'll show you them in a second. Just get a few out first. One more card, please, for general energies and themes for the week ahead. I love this. Okay, so I pulled 3 cards. I'll show you the first one. So here we've got Wheel of Fortune. Well, it's called Fortune in this deck. This is the Aleister Crowley Thoth Deck. So it's very similar, but slightly different to regular sort of Rider-Waite tarot. So just having a look at that, seeing what comes through for you. Then we've got 4 of Discs, or 4 of Pentacles, sometimes it's known. Power. Okay. And then we've got Death. Now I'm laughing at this because this is the Scorpio card, right? You can see here the little Scorpio glyph there. So I'm not remotely surprised to see the Death card coming out. So let's start with Wheel of Fortune. I'm loving this. This is the first one that came out. So to me, what it really very much feels like is, first of all, it's the Jupiter card. So look at that. That's a Jupiter glyph there. And there's been a lot of Jupiterian energy at the moment. We've just had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on Saturday. And we'll still be feeling that energy because it's not like, even though it peaked at that moment, it's quite a long conjunction. Like it's actually been in the same house for a while. So it feels like, and the readings I've been doing recently, there's been lots of Jupiter coming up. So it feels like Jupiter, like, is the planet of abundance, it's the planet of plenty, it's the planet of like optimism. It's also the planet of things feeling a lot, right? So things have been busy, things have been active, and we've had so much Aries energy recently as well. And I feel like this card is here is like for a couple of reasons. One of them is that like Jupiter is playing a big role right now, but also it feels like if things have been challenging, that we're turning a corner. The Wheel of Fortune is turning and things are starting to get a little bit easier now. I actually pulled this card for myself this morning as well, and I was very relieved to see it because it's been sort of challenging recently, right? So it feels like things are changing. So if you've been wanting some kind of change, that could be coming through this week, or there just could be, if things have been challenging, things are going to get easier for you. So that's a really nice one to start. I mean, Jupiter is such lovely energy, right? And then we have got here the 4 of Discs, Power. So this could be a few things. I mean, with it being like a theme for the week, it feels like fours are always quite a stable point in tarot. So like a point of rest, a point of stability, a point of like it's not the end because it's not like a 9 or a 10, but it's a checkpoint. I always think of it like a checkpoint, and then fives is when it's like the new cycle coming in. So we're coming to some kind of like resting point. And I feel like with this particular card, it's a sun in Capricorn card. So there could be something here about needing to put some structures in place. If you look at the actual image on the card as well, this is literally a structure. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the planet of boundaries, of limitations, of restrictions. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just about like, oh, we need some limitations and structures in order to kind of get things going, right? We need systems in place for things to happen. So it feels like maybe this week for some of you, it could be that it's about getting organized, because Capricorn's about organization, right? It could be about like sort of thinking about what you want your life to look like and getting things in order for that. It could also be in traditional tarot, sometimes this means like a hoarding kind of energy. So it's like a picture of a man holding a pentacle and he's like hugging it as though he's like too tightly gripped onto something. And this has actually been a little bit of a theme that's been coming up recently, interestingly, in other readings that I've done, where there's this real need to release control and surrendering. So I wonder if for some of you, it could be more about the organization piece. And then for others, it might be more about a need to, there's something that you're maybe holding on to and it's not allowing the flow to come in. It's like blocking the hose. Like I'm really imagining like water coming through a pipe and there's a kink in the hose. And this is interesting. I said that. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. So there's a kink in the hose and it's like there's a blockage there and it's like not allowing the water to flow. And the reason I had that little moment there is because I'll do a full video on this, but it feels like with full moon in Scorpio, Scorpio is very much Scorpio, right? Scorpio is very much about releasing our fears and like shining a light on our shadows, on the parts of us that are not helping us move forward. Okay, so let's say, for example, we want, a new job, or we want like more money or something like that, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Just you're trying to call something in. You're trying to manifest something. But if there is an unconscious part of you that actually doesn't want those things, then you're not actually going to be able, you can do all the vision boards in the world, but without addressing our shadow parts, like let's say the shadowy part of you is saying, if I have lots of money, then people won't like me anymore. Or if I have lots of money, I will become lazy. Like it doesn't matter what the actual shadowy belief is, like in this example, but the point is that what the magic of Scorpio is that Scorpio reveals the parts of us that don't want the things that we say that we want. And that I think this week is going to be so important to look at that, because we have an opportunity with the full moon in Scorpio to be able to look at our shadows and say, where, like, what parts of me have been like disowned and what parts need to be integrated into myself like now, so that I can actually get the things that I want. Because like I say, if you consciously want more money, just using money as the example, again, doesn't have to be money, but unconsciously you think you'll be a bad person for having more money, then you're not going to be able to bring it in. And that's what doing shadow work is about revealing those parts so that we can set ourselves free from the parts, the unconscious parts that are actually driving the bus, because we think it's our conscious selves that wants what it wants, right? I mean, obviously your conscious self does want what it wants, but what I mean is that we think the conscious self is what makes decisions, but it's actually the unconscious that drives the bus forward. So with this card being here as well, it feels like this full moon is going to be really, really important for shining a light on those parts. Or again, like let's use an example. It feels important to talk about this actually, even though I'm going to do another reading, but it's such a big part of the week. So let's say you wanted to bring more love into your life, that you wanted to manifest a new relationship or something. But again, like there's some part of you, maybe some wounded part of you, that doesn't want someone in because you've been hurt before. So it's about doing the healing to allow the new to come in that we do want. It's not that you don't want it, but another part of you doesn't. And that's the part that is currently winning, so to speak. I don't love to use that language, but like it's the part that's making the decision. It's calling the shots. That's kind of more accurate. So this week could be a real opportunity to look at those parts and then look at how we can heal that. And like I say, when I do the full video, I'll talk a little bit more about shadow work and what that actually entails, because I think that people in the spiritual community talk about it quite a lot, but it's not always very clear what that actually looks like and how you actually go about doing that. So if you are interested in that, please do pop it in the comments below, because I'm happy to talk about that a little bit more. Like I remember people talking about it loads and I was like, great, how do I do it? And it was always a bit fluffy, and I'm not really into that. I like to understand the process. I have my Mercury in Taurus. I'm like, give me grounded, structured stuff, right? I want to know the step by step. So if you are interested, please pop that in the comments. Okay, so I'm going to pull some more cards now. I'm going to look at potential challenges coming up for the week. Oh, there it is. Okay, so here we have Prince of Cups. So showing you that card now. And immediately what's coming to me actually with this is that it might be hard to get in touch with our more emotional side this week. Because if you look at this card, it's very blue. Cups is ruled by water. Water is the emotional world. So there might be something here about it being hard to get in touch with, yeah, like our emotions. And that's going to be quite important. Like it feels like there might be some resistance here to doing this shadow work, because maybe it's been hard to feel your feelings and like get access to them, but it's going to be really important. I want to see if there's any more cards for that actually, in terms of more explanations for that challenge, please. Yeah, because it is challenging, you know, like shadow work, it's not easy work, but it's so powerful, and it has so much potential to help us actually manifest things. And that's why I think Scorpio is so misunderstood. Like it's a little bit, I think people kind of hate on Scorpio a little bit, honestly, but like it's just very misunderstood. The Scorpio is like the underworld, right? The Scorpio rules the underworld. Scorpio rules like the unseen realms, and that can sometimes feel like, oh, I don't want to go there, I don't want to know what's behind the veil or something. Okay, so I pulled another card here in terms of the challenges. Yeah, okay, so that's interesting. So we've got Seven of Cups. So Seven of Cups to me speaks of not feeling very motivated. So there could be a little bit of like malaise as well, like just feeling like tired, a little bit exhausted. And maybe like, oh, I don't want to like go there, I don't want to do that. So it might be that you're feeling a little bit like, oh, I just don't really want to do the work because it's hard. And yeah, like, and we've had such an intense month. Like April has been so intense astrologically. We've had so much going on there. Like I say, we've had that Jupiter Uranus conjunction. We've had North Node in Aries or South Node in Libra. We've had this full moon in Scorpio, not an easy one. Scorpio, like, even though I love Scorpio, Scorpio is in its fall when it's in the moon. Sorry, what am I trying to say there? Like, it's, yeah, like the moon. Use your words, Sarah. So the Scorpio doesn't like to be, the moon doesn't like to be Scorpio. Thank you. There we go. Thank you for that. Okay. So it can be a little sticky, right? Because the moon doesn't like to be in Scorpio particularly. It's not very comfortable there. So yeah, so it might feel hard to go there. But if we do it, the rewards will be massive, because if we don't make the unconscious conscious, it will rule our lives and we will call it fate. That was not me that said that. That was Carl Jung, who was a very clever man indeed. All right, so now we'll come on to the best parts of the week. So what? Oh, blimey. Okay, that one's come out. Oh, nice. 2 came out. Okay, so here we've got. Oh, these are so nice. I love this so much. Okay, so we've got 2 of discs, and we've got the star. So that's so nice. So the best parts. This really feels a lot like this one as well, because we've got the wheels, like the circles. So things are changing. Things will get easier. The star always reminds us to stay hopeful and optimistic. Whenever the star is here, I always think like remaining optimistic. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are changing. I love how synchronistic these cards are and how much relevance. Oh, look at that as well. This is a Jupiter card. So you've got there the Jupiter glyph. And we've got Capricorn here as well. That's interesting. So we've got a couple of Capricorn cards and we've got a couple of Jupiter cards. Love that. And then, yeah, staying hopeful. And I feel like with Aquarius, it's also like we're going to be able to see things more clearly as well, because Aquarius rules like, well, it's an air sign. So it's about the thoughts, our mind. So being like more clarity coming through. Feels like that's if things have felt a little bit foggy. And then I'm going to pull another card, please. Oh, that nearly came out, but didn't quite. There we go. One more card for guidance, please. Okay, it's interesting. So we've got here 8 of Cups. And we've got 8 of Swords. 2 8s. Interesting. So it feels like, with this being guidance, another Jupiter card, blimey. All right. So this one's the Jupiter card there. You've got Jupiter glyph. This is Jupiter in Gemini. So this card speaks of overthinking. So there's something here about don't let your like overthinking happen this week, not overthinking things. And then also there's a need here to walk away from something. This card is always about leaving something behind, which makes sense, right? Because the full moon of Scorpio is very much about like bringing, like shining a light on our shadows so that we can like leave behind, like we've got death as well, right? So death is very much about rebirth and death and rebirth. So like getting rid of the old, making space for the new. There's something that needs to be left behind this week. For some of you, you're going to be walking away from, could even be jobs, could be relationships, could be something that's just not working for you anymore. Like something has been around for a while. And it's like this week, it's like time to say no and move on and walk away. And it might not be the easiest thing, but it'll be for your highest good. And yeah, and trying not to sort of like let your mind run amok is what I'm actually hearing there. Like, no, I can't do that because da, 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 da. Like, no, I can't. And it's like, but you can. And you need to. We mustn't, like with death, I think it's always like whenever it shows up, it's about not letting let me think about that for a second. It's about not being afraid to let go of things, right? So when death is here, it's like something needs to die. And if we hold on and cling on, then it's only going to make things harder and it's only going to drag things out for longer. So there really is like it's an interesting read because there's definitely some things here about walking away, leaving things behind, letting things be in the past. And things are changing whether you like it or not, right? Change. Not being stubborn, right? There's something here about this can be a very stubborn energy. So not being stubborn in your like, no, like this, I like things as they are and I'm keeping it and I don't want change and I want things to stay the same. It's like, well, the energy is very much saying things are changing, so we need to go with it. And like, yeah, like I was saying before about letting the water flow through, not letting the kink in the hose happen, like clearing the kink, doing the shadow work, clearing the kinks, and allowing what wants to flow through because it's happening. It's already happening. And we can enjoy this time if we want to. It's much the message here. Wow, all right, this was cool. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull some more cards from an oracle deck. I'm going to use Yasmin Boland's manifestation deck. I forgot to get it out, so just 1 second. Just here. So it's this deck here, the Moonology Manifestation Oracle cards. And I'm using this deck because we've got the full moon in Scorpio, and it just feels like the right deck to use. And if you like this deck, the link is in the description below. Okay. So, more cards, please. Oh, gosh. I'm going to take that one. Okay. Ooh, right. Guidance for this week, please. Collective. What are the messages want to come through, please? That one. Yeah. One more, please. Oh, my. Oh, I love this. Okay. So interesting. Okie dokie. So, first one that I pulled out there, forgive. So, for some of you, there's some, we were talking about needing to walk away from something here. It feels like for some of you, you need to do some forgiving of yourself, of others, some wrongdoings that have maybe happened. Because it feels like this is one of the things that's keeping you stuck is this inability to forgive, whether it's yourself for something that you've done in the past, or it's what someone else has done to you in the past. Now, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean like letting people treat you badly, right? But it is about like releasing that burden on yourself, because actually it only hurts us when we hold on to that pain. When we hold on to anger, it's hurting us. We're drinking the poison. So it's not about forgiving others. If it is about others and that resonates for you, it's not about like letting them continue hurting you, but it's about like releasing yourself from the shackles of like that energy of being, like, behold it. Again, there's really this strong energy of like stubbornly holding on, like, no, but they did this and they did that, and it's like, that's true, and we need to let it go because it's holding us back. Like, it's not serving us anymore to be holding on to that anger anymore. It's only hurting us. So that's interesting. And then we've also got here, keep your heart open, because when we don't forgive, we close our hearts, right? So there's something here about really needing, to stay open, to trusting, to allowing things to come in, And then we've got here, find a balance. And I think this is interesting as well, because the other meaning of this card here is that when this card comes up, things can also be quite busy. Okay, so it's like, gives me the imagery on regular like tarot, traditional tarot, I should say. On that particular deck, it's Two of Pentacles and it's a man juggling, right? So it's like juggling lots of balls in the air, things being quite busy, change is happening, right? When there's lots and lots of change, there can be lots of upheaval. So it is about, we're also being asked to make sure that we balance and find balance this week, because it is going to be like potentially quite ungrounding, I think. So there's something here about needing to not forget about your health and like making sure that you are resting, that you're drinking lots of water, that you're cleansing and like, taking care of your body, feels like, because because there's so much activity still. It's not really letting up. And with Mercury going direct as well, things will be happening faster again. So yeah, finding a balance, getting ready for all of this change, getting systems put in place, and leaving what needs to be in the past, and doing the shadow work to reveal that is still kind of, you know, like I'm getting this image of like this hooks in you, and it's like removing the hooks, you know, so that you can move forward and be more at peace and free and clearer. Yeah. Oh, I'm interested to see how this pans out for everybody this week. Thank you so much for watching that. I hope that was helpful, insightful. If you did like it, please feel free to leave a comment or like this video. And if you like this content and you want more of it, subscribing is the best way to get more content coming to your channel. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.